Oh, be still my heart, the most obnoxious personality in cable news is about to lose her show if a report from a veteran media reporter turns out to be correct. And no, I'm not talking about Don Lemon, nor am I talking about little Buh-Bye Stelter, or even Al Sharpton himself. I'm talking about the one, the only, the most racist host of them all, Joy Reid, the radical leftist that somehow got herself a primetime show. I believe, but have never tuned in to know for sure. Either way, it won't matter here in a couple of weeks now, will it? Of course, this was on Comcast-owned cable news network MSNBC. John Nicosia, formerly of Mediaite and the Washington Examiner, tweeted yesterday. Source at Comcast, quote, Joy Reid will lose her 7 p.m. show in the next round of reshuffling at MSNBC. See? Primetime. We worked that out, now didn't we? Quote, she doesn't have a show come mid-spring. The, quote, decision has been made. The only thing left is messaging on the move, which will be ratings, unquote. He continued, as was the case with Chris Cuomo at CNN, Reid has allies at Comcast. However, she is now viewed as unmanageable by many. Also, similar to Cuomo, it appears those allies have found out she has been, quote, less than truthful about past incidents. More to come. He finished up by tweeting, also like Cuomo at CNN, watch for MSNBC/Comcast to defend her right until the announcement. All right, we've got a lot more to get into right after this quick commercial break to pay some bills. It's no secret that the liberals are waging a war on America, and in particular, Trump supporters. In fact, the reason why Biden wanted to withdraw troops before U.S. citizens from Afghanistan, that immediately led to the Taliban taking over, was simply because the Democrats rejected Trump's original negotiation plan. Due to the Democrats' relentless war on Donald Trump and everything he represents, Afghanistan has now fallen. And this is arguably the biggest embarrassment to the American military ever since the Vietnam War. Make no mistake, the Democrats and Joe Biden are against everything Donald Trump stood for, because only he put America first. As such, we can no longer stand back and watch the values that founded this great nation being trampled on any further. As a proud American in this God-fearing nation, we must stand up and fight for our president and support his stance against the Democrats. And that's why, for a limited time only, Trump supporters will be able to receive a buy one, get one free limited edition gold Unity coin. These have been flying off the shelves, so act fast. There's no telling how many are left. You can pick them up by hitting that link in the description box below. Own a piece of history for yourself before it's too late. Okay, now obviously I'll caveat it with this isn't official word yet, but John Nicosia of News Cycle Media is the one reporting it, and he generally has great sources when it comes to things like this. So the reporter said, quote, the decision has been made. The only thing left is messaging on the move, which will be ratings. As was the case with Chris Cuomo at CNN, Reid has allies at Comcast, however, she is now viewed as unmanageable by many. Imagine that. Also, similar to Cuomo, it appears those allies have found out she has been less than truthful about past incidents, unquote. Now, all this sounds quite intriguing. Have they finally found out that her blog that I've mentioned many times over the years, you know, the one with all the homophobic and other objectionable posts, did they find out it wasn't really hacked at all? Could this be the, quote, less than truthful past incidents part? Of course, looking back on the highlights of her brief stint in weekly primetime, the possibilities are endless because she's been, quote, less than truthful, or completely full of shit about so many things. You know, it actually might be kind of hard to choose what they could oust her ass over at this point. There are oh so many reasons for which they could if they were an honest and credible network. In fact, just in the past week, she had her show putting out the lie that Officer Brian Sicknick died as a result of injuries inflicted on him on January 6th during the Capitol riots. And who could forget the time when this moron actually promoted the ridiculous Ron DeSantis' missing conspiracy? Let's also not forget her crazed rant about Kyle Rittenhouse, Brett Kavanaugh, and white male tears. Don't get me wrong, MSNBC puts out a ton of bullshit, but even for them, Joy Reid's level of bullshit has got to be embarrassing. Now, I may actually tune in to this moron show looking to enjoy her false sense of security, as Nicosia said to expect, as happened with Chris Cuomo at CNN, that MSNBC/Comcast will defend her right up until they dump her on her ass. Now here's a couple of fun tweets before I let you go. Miranda Devine put it simply, life is good. I like it. Now the great Molly Hemingway took a little bit more of a sarcastic approach. The Federalist staff are mourning this sad news. Even in a sea of incompetence and crazy, she stood out and provided us with much to write about. Fare thee well, dear friend. But the winner is, at least so far, Christina Pushaw. She tweeted out, I heard Kamala Harris is in need of a new communications director. Ooh, burn. Exactly. Replace one racist with another. Okay, so in closing, Cuomo's gone. Well, actually, both are gone. There's at least a couple of pedos at CNN gone, and now Joy the Klansman Reid is gone. Looks like we'll need to do some sort of a shit-canned year in review episode soon if this keeps up. Most of this came by way of, well, Twitter. If you liked it, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, leave a comment down below. There's a PayPal link in the description box, so please put $1 in the bucket on the way out the door. I'd like to thank everyone for all your donations. They're much needed and much appreciated. Now, with all that being said, we'll see you next time.
Come on, move. Move. Easy, easy.